know that that's on me.
Never had a moment where I ever questioned you. You already know that. I ain't never stressed with ya. Love me and you own that. That's why I'm so impressed with ya, blessed with ya. If you haven't noticed, I am at my best with ya, yeah. Yeah, they know you're my heart. Yeah, they know I'm about you. I hate when we're apart, 'cause I love me, you.
Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about coping with mental illness and mental health, just your mental state in general during quarantine. I wanted to do this video because I feel that right now it is a very important video, especially, like I said, for people who do suffer from mental illness, as myself. So I don't know if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so you're caught up. You should also check out, after this video of course, I'm going to put the link right up here, my previous video on mental illness, where I pretty much just talked a little bit about myself dealing and coping with a mental illness. I deal with extreme anxiety, crippling anxiety, and I pretty much talk a little bit about my story and how when I started having anxiety and all of that, and how it started from like PTSD and then going in and out of recurring depression as a result also of my anxiety. So I'm my little turtleneck or whatever, you know. So yeah, first things first, I just want to talk about how I know for myself, me personally, please forgive my nails. I of course can't get my nails done right now, and I painted them like a week and a half ago, and now they're like peeling off, whatever. I'm gonna take them off later. So I just wanted to first talk about my experience firsthand. This last week and a half or maybe 2 weeks, I've been good, but I came home to North Carolina to kind of get out of what was going on in the city, because as we all know, I live in New York, and New York right now is kind of like the eye of the storm. So I was dealing with having anxiety of that, as far as the fact that no one's really working right now. Like I have my other ways that I'm, you know, working, as far as working on my brand and things like that, but nobody's like working. Like the world is kind of on pause. So it was a relief, of course, with New York putting some like rules and regulations on rent payments and things like that. But it's just, for me, I think it was just the thought of being nervous about what's to come after all of what's already going on with the virus, with people are dying, people are okay one day and the next day they're not here, they're walking around with it. So that's just something that's been like, you know, heavy on me. The anxiety of coughing and then worrying, oh my god, girl, do I have the Rona? I've been joking about it with my friends, like, girl, you got the Rona, but it's like a way of like coping, because honestly it's really scary to think about. Like, people are walking around with it for weeks and don't know they have it, and granted, that person may not suffer from it terribly, but they could have someone that they're close to that they infect, and their immune system may not be able to handle it, you know. So just all of those things are a little bit overwhelming. And not just that, like I said, thinking about what I'm gonna get back into when I do get back to the city, which I plan on leaving soon because I miss my apartment. Yes, I like spending time with my family or whatever, when they're not getting on my nerves, but which is expected. It's your family. But I do miss my apartment and being in my own space. But yeah, just thinking about that, and it's just a bunch of overwhelming information at I try to stay in the know without actually watching the news, because the news, it seems like, I don't usually watch the news anyways. I think the news is nothing but bad news all the time, and I'm just kind of like formulating all of my own suspicions based off of this and having anxiety because of that, and it's just really like tough. I also was struggling with a little bit of anxiety when I first got here about 3 weeks ago, because my birthday was coming. I just turned 25 3 days ago, April 12th, and before then I had like a little anxiety attack, not because I was turning 25, but because in my mind, you know, we all have this like life set that we want a way that we want things to be by a certain time, and so that's what it was for me. Granted, yes, I'm working at what, you know, my dream still, and that's fine. I'm okay with that, but in my mind, I always had different goals for myself before the age of 25. You know, I mean, I think that's anybody. So I was having anxiety with that, and so like the first week and a half that I was here, I was suffering from anxiety so bad. Like my anxiety was at a very heightened rate, and it was just, yeah. But luckily, thank God for my counselor. She's in New York, but we do still have sessions over the phone since I've been here every Monday, and she's been helping definitely. Me being able to still talk to her and discuss things that we talk about, and all of that definitely helps. So definitely being isolated most definitely gives you can give you anxiety or cause your mental illness to kind of worsen. Being isolated and just the overwhelming feeling of not knowing what's going to happen and being overwhelmed by all of what is happening. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience, how I'm dealing with it, how I'm coping with it, and how it's affecting me, to share with some other people that may need to hear it. So for me, when I am having these episodes, for me personally, my anxiety usually, if it's at a very heightened rate, it can put me into a depressive mood, which can go on for days, weeks. It has been a while since I've had episodes that go on for months. However, it has definitely happened plenty of times before, but I think just me going to counseling and being more self-aware nowadays, I'm able to like kind of stop them in their tracks, or at least improve them, like knowing what to do to improve the effects that they have on me, kind of like reduce the effects that they have on me. But yeah, so me being anxious about a lot at once, being overwhelmed with everything during this period of time, and being so isolated during this time definitely put me in a depressive mood for a little bit, which I slowly came out of. And I do worry sometimes, I try not to, but I do sometimes worry that it could come back, which is common. I mean, that's how it works. I wanted to talk about ways that I'm coping and dealing. So first things first, let me say healthy, first of all, healthy coping mechanisms, because I know me personally, and I'm pretty sure everyone else, we go to a lot of times when dealing with our episodes and trying to heal them, we go for the quickest thing, something that's going to give us relief right then. Drinking or smoking for some people, or partying, just whatever is going to get it quickly. But those are temporary, and they don't really do anything for you in the long run. So I want to speak on healthy coping activities that could help you to deal with your mental state during this time. So for me, I would say number one thing, take a walk. Go outside, take a walk. I just did that. I've been doing that out like get some fresh air, because getting fresh air is very important during this time of us being locked up in the house. And I think people are like scared to go outside, but I don't think there's a problem with you going outside as long as there's not mad people outside where you're going. And like I said, social distancing, 6 feet apart. You can go walk outside and get nowhere near close to your neighbors. Even in New York, I mean, it's mad people, but during this time right now, there's nobody outside. Shouldn't be, but it's really looks crazy in New York because it's so empty, and we all know that New York has never been that type of place. So and you know, you can put on your mask and gloves so that you know, or if you don't want to put on your gloves, you can put on your mask. Please put on your mask. But it's okay to go outside and walk, take a walk. Like, that is important. Get fresh air, even if you're scared to go walking. If you got a balcony, go outside on the balcony, sit outside for a little while. Which I also have another point with the balcony, sitting outside. Yeah, sit on the porch, sit on the back balcony, or just sit at the window. Open your window, sit at the window. Number 2, which is something you can do while you sit outside or sit at the window, journal. Write down your feelings. I have an app, and I have a few apps. I'm gonna put them in the description box below, but just a few apps that help me keep track of my feelings throughout the day, my emotions, what I'm doing when I'm feeling these things, what I'm doing when I'm having the most anxiety. It basically helps me track it, and it also allows you, the app that I'm talking about also allows you to back up all of these entries and keep them. So if you have like counseling and you want to share them with your counselor or something like that, because I personally do that when I have in-person meetings, or even over the phone, I'll share with her some of my entries, or I'll send them to her through email so she can read them before we talk. It's just a really good way to express your feelings, because of course for a lot of us, having a mental illness is hard to share with people. So if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, you could always write it down. You know, find other ways to express it. So I'll leave those in the description box. So yeah, number 2 would be journaling, expressing your feelings. Number 3, if you have a hobby, a lot of people have hobbies. If you're not able to go out and do something, there are other ways to, you know, find enjoyable things to do in the house. Like if you have a hobby, like it may be listening to music. For me, I love listening to music. You probably will hardly see me out without my AirPods in. I've always been like that. Of course, before it wasn't AirPods, it was headphones, but I've always been like that. I don't go nowhere without them. Child, you will always see me with them, okay? Because I be trying to tune everything else out sometimes. But yeah, music, if you like to listen to music, if you like to read, what are some other things that you can do? Hobbies, hula hoop, playing basketball, like anything. If you got a court outside, you play basketball, watch movies, which I know a lot of us are probably Netflix and chilling for a while. There are a lot of things that you can do hobby-wise. There are so many things you can do. Find something that makes you happy, keeps you busy, keeps you occupied, keeps your mind off of whatever everything else is going on up there, and do that. Number 4, eat something good. Like, I don't want to say it as it sounds like overeating. I feel like a lot of us are overeating. I know me personally, I always overeat. So during this time, like, yeah, I'm eating a lot. Even though I already do, but I'm really eating a lot. But when I say this, I mean something healthy, even if it's not something healthy. But healthy foods are really good for your body, because what a lot of people don't know is anxiety and other mental illnesses all play a big part also in your physical health as well. people don't know that. I didn't know that until like recently, just learning last year, doing more research, and as well as going to my counselor. I did not know that your mental state has a huge part of your physical state as well. When you have anxiety, you can there could be problems with your digestion. I noticed something when I have anxiety. My stomach hurts really bad sometimes. Having to use the bathroom a lot, like little things like that. Like, you don't realize that your mental health and constantly being stressed and worried and anxious and all of that plays a big part in your physical health. So it's important to take care of yourself while physically, while your mental is not all the way there. So eat a healthy meal, like eat something good, cook something. That's another thing. Like, cooking itself is a hobby for some people. I love to cook. I love to cook when I'm at home. I haven't been cooking as much here, but because we kind of like everybody's cooking. But yeah, so cook something. Drink water, please. Make sure you're drinking water. A good tip also, when I say eat well, try not to drink too many sodas or caffeine drinks or sugary things, because it is known that sugary things and things with caffeine, things with a lot of sugar, just unhealthy foods and drinks can also have a huge impact on you mentally if you already suffer from mental illnesses or things like that. So number 5, kind of like 6, because I basically just did 2 in the last one. Find I like to learn a lot on my own though. Like, I don't like being told that I have to learn something. Don't tell me. Like, I do it on my own, but I do a lot of research. So something that I think personally for people dealing with mental illnesses and things, research it. Learn a little bit more about it. You'd be so surprised at the things you would learn. And it's also learning the things that I've learned, like how it affects my physical health and stuff like that. It's really making me think twice about some of the things that I can control as far as worrying about or stressing about. It's making me want to take more precautions in taking care of myself while dealing with these things, because I know how they're affecting me. Not only that, but it's good to know, what you deal with and know about it. Research it. If you want to share it with someone else that also deals with the same thing, I feel like expanding your knowledge on something that you deal with is very important. But I'm learning a lot of things that I didn't know before, and they're actually like comforting to know that there are other people dealing with these things, and researching that is giving me that reassurance, So I would say that is also a very good thing to do for me personally. Researching, doing a lot of research. Try to do positive research. I would not say, if you are struggling with anxiety and being overwhelmed with all this going on, please try not to research everything about the coronavirus and diseases and the people that's dying. Let's not focus on that. Let's try to keep it positive. Research stuff that that may be relieving for you. Research stuff that may not even have anything to do with mental health. Learn something new. It's people doing online classes. Like, you can do things like Skillshare, which is basically like everybody is doing their own classes, teaching their own classes, and you pay to join. I think they're like, some of them have different time frames, but I think they go on for a few weeks. I was thinking about trying one. I just haven't found a class that I actually want to take, but I was definitely thinking about that also. Finding something that I always wanted to learn. It's things. So I think I pretty much covered all of the top things I wanted to talk about, but I just six and a half, whatever you want to call it. Working out. Even if you don't, obviously gyms are closed and things like that, but this is a good time. You can still work out. You can still go outside and do those exercises. There are still plenty of exercises you can do in the house, outside in the yard, in the drive-through, your living room, the backyard. Like, you can still work out, do those things. You have to be innovative and use the resources that you have for now as to your best ability, and you can still get you can still get some good results. I mean, a lot of people saying using a gym not being open as an excuse to not get that summer body, baby, but you can still get that summer body, okay? You just gotta be a little bit more innovative with how you do it. But you can do it up in the house, okay? I ain't working out now. That's just not my thing. I said I was gonna start in 2020. I do plan on doing it, but I'm just not a fitness freak. I'm mad little. Like, I'm this big, y'all. Y'all know I'm 5'2" and I weigh like 110, y'all. I'm mad small. So I be trying to work out to get thick. Okay? I don't be trying to work out to lose weight or get too fit, because I'm already fit. I've been an athlete all my life, so yeah. But I just want to say, during this time, it's very hard to cope with mental illness and all of that. And I just think that we have to really find a way to turn it into a positive thing and see it as an opportunity to rest. You know, an opportunity to rest, the opportunity to create, an opportunity to work on things that we haven't had time to work on before, an opportunity to save money, even though a lot of us may not even be working. There are other ways, applying for unemployment, your stimulus check, you know, practice saving your money. Granted, a lot of us still have things that we have to pay when this is all up, but it's still the opportunity to, you know, teach yourself that discipline. This time can be used for a lot of things, and me personally, every day I've been staying busy doing something, whether it's only been for an hour. You know, I'm just trying to stay busy and use this time, because I know that this time, a time like this, where the world is on pause and we have time to actually rest, will not come again for a while, if ever again, you know. So you really just have to try and find the positive sides and a positive light in things, and that would definitely help, I believe, because for me personally, it's been helping my mental state, staying positive. Also, don't let social media fool you into thinking you have to be doing something productive right now. For a lot of us, we really just needed to rest. I know me personally, I've been needing a break to rest. I've been wanting that, and I feel like I'll be rejuvenated after this. Although I also see it as a perfect time to do things that I've been wanting to do that I haven't had the time to do. Working on my brand, working on things like very time consuming things. But like I said, that does not make you lazy or make you dumb or whatever social media is trying to make you feel, because you're choosing not to do those things. Yes, it's a good time to do it, but that doesn't mean that you have to do it. If all you have to do is rest, if that's what you really need is to rest, use this time to rest and don't feel bad about it. There's no reason for you to be feeling bad about that. We're all human beings. Rest is important. Working is important, but rest is the most important thing. Your physical health is always going to come before all of that, because believe it or not, rest plays a part in your immune system and your health and all of that as well. And right now, we're all trying to stay healthy so that we can stay away from this virus and keep it from spreading all over the place like it's been doing. So make sure you guys are washing your hands, keeping your face clean, take your vitamins, you know, all of that good stuff. Just make sure you're staying healthy, because that is how we're going to fight this virus and be able to go outside, child, because I need this to be gone before the summertime. I got things to do and people to see, okay? New York in the summertime is litty. And if New York is not right, what happens to summer?